So I've said before, I'm on the side of TikTok that has all the idiots, the Democrats. Okay. And so, of course, they're so upset about, they're upset because I said that J. Edgar Hoover was a patriot. Like, you would think that video, they would see, oh, Comey admitted to being a communist, and so did Brennan. But no, I had 3 ask me to define communism. Well, Democrat Party, pretty much. Same thing. You guys supported slavery, okay? You guys were in control in the South, okay? You were the Jim Crow laws, okay? You always support the most tyrannical bullshit, more regulation, more bullshit on the people, more taxes. You're in the most corrupt shit. And the Clintons being totally tied to Epstein. Okay, I could go on and on and on, and not saying the Republicans don't have some bad apples, but your party has been tied to communism. Look at AOC and the rest of them there, okay? So don't even pull your bullshit about J. Edgar, okay? The man, he did everything he could to subvert communism. He did. That's what the FBI did. But that's not all he did. He got Machine Gun Kelly. He got Al Capone. He got a bunch of mobsters. Put it this way. Sadly, like if we had J. Edgar, and if we would have never got JFK, and the MLK, it's like they came at it's almost like it was designed for them to both come at the same time, because they both went after the intelligence agencies. That's who went at. I don't give a shit what the 1977 Church Committee report says. You progressives, you Democrats, you broke into the FBI, and then none of you were held accountable for that shit. And then the Democrats decide we're going to do an investigation in the FBI. Yeah, because you wanted to have oversight over the FBI. The thing is that J. Edgar Hoover we would have never, God, it's so sad. We would have never suffered 9/11 if they wouldn't have done this to the FBI and CIA, JFK and all the Democrats after, because JFK deliberately went after the CIA. He did. Because I don't know, he was in his 40s, and he comes in right out the starting gates and F's up the Bay of Pigs. Either do the Bay of Pigs or don't, but don't tell everybody to do it and then not give air support when Eisenhower told you that you have to give it. Like, he went out of his way to F that up, which of course led to the Cuban Missile Crisis. But of course he would hate CIA back then. What CIA and FBI are now, of course, are exactly what the Kennedys and the progressives and the liberals and the communists would like, because they go after good people. But before they all came in with their bullshit, they were protecting the American people. They were. So I don't give a shit what the COINTELPRO and subcommittee. It was a bunch of progressives that wanted, and with the Democrats, to take down the FBI. And the fact is, up until they did that, the Democrats really, they set us up for 9/11. You did, Democrats, you did. The amount of awards that Edgar Hoover had received, of things he had protected us from. But no, you guys were all upset, making it like he's trying to go after the civil rights movement. No, he had no problem with the civil rights movement. He just was seeing a pattern, and it's obvious now that he was right. He was seeing a pattern that communist groups were influencing the whole civil rights movement. And he saw it turning the whole country into this race division, which is exactly what MLK and JFK wanted, and that's what it's been ever since them. And MLK went after the FBI, JFK, and I get these men are dead, but I'm just saying, there's a reason they didn't want the files out. Because if people do sit down and start reading them, you see this pattern and this difference between what the FBI and CIA were prior to these men and what it became after them. And the most recent example would be, look at the garbage in the last, since 2013, probably even before that. Everything, I mean, in my opinion, pretty much everything after J. Edgar Hoover was just, because the Congress was over it then. They were oversight. Yeah, and the Congress, a bunch of Republicans and Democrats put Comey in. I really don't understand that. He came out and said that he was once a communist. I mean, why would you even put that in? I mean, this, you know, this is like back in the 80s, the Democrats wanted to make a big deal about, oh, it's the, you know, what was it, the devil scare, the evil, it's the red scare. No, it's not. That scare is a real thing. You know who says that? The very people that are the communists. Those are the people that say that shit. That's how we got Weather Underground after Kennedy. We got Black Panthers. Go and read the MLK files, the amount of black movements that were like wanting to just overpower America. That's where all this shit started. Like we at one time were a country that was a proud country, and then these groups came in, communist groups. It wasn't, I mean, because really, I mean, when MLK and JFK care more about paying and raising money to bring black Africans here, and they didn't do anything to help the black community except use them. They did. They would go to Atlanta, the poor neighborhoods, and say, you got to come with us to Washington so we can do this camping. But yet at the same time, when they would raise money, they were raising it for African blacks to come here. And that's how we got Obama. We got Obama because of Airlift to America, the Kenya airlift, because of JFK. Wouldn't you know it? Two people that both hated Israel too, because JFK was a Nazi sympathizer, so of course they would hate the intelligence agencies. And RFK, yeah, he worked with J. Edgar Hoover, but you know, that's shady there, because, yeah, that was undermined. Because he wanted him to, you know, he initially wanted him to monitor King, but then tried to claim, oh, we didn't know how much they were monitored. Look, it wasn't just one person in the organization that there was a concern with. There was a couple. There were people, they were trying to figure out, are people infiltrating King's movement, or does King have handlers? That was the other thing they were worried about. And then as time went on, the things he was saying, which if you do listen to King, and he gives great speeches, not saying he doesn't, but it moved more towards this. It wasn't about America anymore. It was about the, you know, the world unite, workers of the world unite kind of thing. But it became about Pan-Africanism. It wasn't about black. That's why none of these people did anything for black Americans. JFK, literally, the Kennedy Foundation could have used that $100,000 to help any of the slums in these cities, or help these young black Americans go to these Ivy League schools. But instead, they gave it to Kenya against the State Department's advice before Kennedy was even in. And then MLK and Malcolm X and all the rest of them, all the rest of the bullshit artists, just used the black Americans while they fundraised for black Africans to come here, when you could have been doing to help black Americans go to those schools. So I don't have any respect for any of it. I don't care. I don't. It was all the problems. So you Democrats, I'm not going to answer your questions as if I have to answer you. Here is my simple answer when you ask me to define communism. Democrat Party.